Oh hi, I didn't see you there. I'm Philbert D, and we're shooting this on Independence Day. Happy Independence Day. This is Phil on Films. This week, Clarita, Men in Black International, and I answer some more questions.
Clarita, iha. May mga itatanong lang kami sa'yo, ha? Para naman makilala ka namin ng gusto. Simulan na natin ang panayam.
The movie is set in 1954. Jodi Sta is Clarita, a young woman believed to be possessed by demons. She's placed in police custody, but this doesn't seem to stem the evil influence of the spirits within. Father Salvador and Benedicto, played by Ricky Davao and Aaron Villaflor, are called in to perform the exorcism, and in the process, the two are forced to confront their own personal demons. Fundamentally, all exorcism movies are the same. The first act tends to be some waffling over whether the victim is truly possessed or just mentally disturbed. Then we get all the tropes. We get the speaking in Latin, the bodies getting contorted, the splashing of holy water, the guys is changing and all that, and so on. On that count, Clarita isn't trying to add anything new to the genre. If anything, it's really leaning into that familiarity.
Anong klaseng Diyos meron ka?
Pagod na po ako. Nasasaktan po ako, Padre.
Given that caveat, the movie does this all fairly well. There are a few hiccups here and there, scenes that end abruptly or scares that feel unmotivated. But on a whole, the movie is able to play out these tropes with some level of technical panache. The production values are noticeably better than your average local horror film. The costumes and the prosthetics are pretty convincing, and the cinematography is really distinctive. Also, we've got Jodi Sta going all demonic on us, and that's just a lot of fun. It's so fun, in fact, that it feels like the movie could have benefited from focusing more on her. The story gets a bit bogged down as it plays out the stories of other characters. The film is strongest when it's just about this one priest trying to confront the evil in this one woman. Thankfully, there's still a lot of that in there. 3.5 stars.
Clarita?
Always remember, the universe has a way of leading you to where you're supposed to be at the moment you're supposed to be there.
Let's do this.
Tessa Thompson plays Molly, who as a young girl has an encounter with an alien and becomes aware of the existence of the Men in Black. She becomes obsessed with them and dedicates her life to joining the organization. 20 years later, she actually manages to find them, and she's made a probationary agent. She's sent to London, where she's teamed up with Chris Hemsworth's reckless Agent H and gets entangled in a plot that puts the entire universe in peril. The thread of the Men in Black movies for me has always been about discovering this secret world of aliens, pulling back the curtain from this seemingly normal world and revealing this hidden playground of strange creatures, advanced technology, and arcane traditions. The movie seems to be in a hurry to get that over quick, playing up the wonder in the first act before putting that all away in favor of a pretty standard action plot with a fairly predictable turn. It's certainly not bad. The leads are charismatic and the action is solidly done. There are a few good laughs provided by an alien supporting character voiced by Kumail Nanjiani. But none of it is really remarkable. It's just fun enough, just thrilling enough to not be regrettable. But it isn't much more than that. There's some attempt to give some emotional depth to Agent H, but it really doesn't resonate. If anything, the attempt just highlights just how hollow it all is.
That was an incredible catch.
It's basically a theme park attraction. You get on, you get a few thrills, maybe you raise your arms a couple of times, and then you get off and then you move on to the next thing. It's a decent enough way to kill 2 hours of your time if you aren't doing anything more important. 3 stars.
Are you suggesting that we try the most powerful weapon in the galaxy for fun?
Do it. Press the button. Turn it up a few.
Let's go to the mailbag. A bunch of people asked pretty much the same question. With the new rules and regulations of SM Cinema, do you still watch at them? And if you watch at other cinemas, what cinema is the best alternative for SM Cinema? What snacks I choose to eat in cinemas, and also which cinemas are the best? First, I do sometimes watch at SM Cinema, but that's mostly out of convenience. They have a lot of cinemas and they tend to show all the movies. If I want to see something small, I'm probably gonna find it at SM more than any other place. The new regulations don't affect me because, to answer the other question, I don't really eat while watching movies. This is because I want to focus on the movie and I am actually very easily distracted. And even the sound of popcorn in my mouth gets me distracted. Also, popcorn is terrible. Stop having popcorn. As for the best cinemas, there really is no like perfect option unless you go to the Evia Lifestyle Mall out in Las Piñas and watch at their laser IMAX thing. It's supposed to be really, really amazing. I personally really like the Gateway Cinemas. I think they strike a good balance between having decent enough projection and really good sound and good seats. They do need to start renovating those seats. They need to start reupholstering them. You can feel that they're dying. But I think Gateway is pretty good. Somebody asked, is this guy Filipino? Yes. Happy Independence Day. Michael Bababero asks, favorite directors, local, international, and why? I think my favorite director internationally is Shun Sono. He's a Japanese director. He makes these really weird, violent, sexually explicit films. So that's why I like it. But no, seriously, there's this, even with very limited resources, he's able to get something out of it. He makes there's this one film of his called Love Exposure, which is about a guy that tries to take upskirt photos of girls. And it's a weird romance that is 4 hours long and it inexplicably works. It's like shot on video and cheap. This is a guy who, despite the limitations of his resources, goes epic. He just wants to go epic, even if his stories are technically really small. At that end, my favorite local directors are, Lav Diaz. He's basically the storyteller of our times. I really admire anybody who finds new ways to tell stories. Lav Diaz was a guy who had absolutely no resources and figured out a new way to deliver the ideas in his head. He had this camcorder. He couldn't afford to shoot on film. He took advantage of the form itself. One thing video has over film is that it isn't limited to reels. It isn't physically limited to 15-minute takes. So Lav Diaz went and shot 1 hour long takes, and that's Evolution ng Pamilyang Pilipino. You should check it out. I don't know how anymore, but if you ever have the chance, go watch Evolution ng Pamilyang Pilipino. And there are a lot of people I like. I like Renton Zozola. I like Keith De Lejero. I'll just name all the Cebuanos because I really like all the Cebuanos. I like Ara Chowdhury. I like Antoinette Hadaone. I actually donated money to that thing called Tadhana when it was in production. Sigurd Bernardo, Irene Villamor. I like Dan Villegas. Dan and I go way back, so bias, whatever. Yeah. But yeah, we can stick with Shun Sono and Lav Diaz if you want to get technical about it. Seskinok asks, hello Philbert, ha ha ha, when are you going to have actors cameo on your vlog? Asking for a friend. Soon. I've already asked some people who've shown, some people have shown interest, but it's like, scheduling is really tough. Scheduling this for me is tough. Getting artistas on here seems insurmountable, but we'll figure it out.
And we don't have a manager, so
yeah.
It's just us.
Favorite local movie of the year, asks Kate DLP on Twitter. I don't know. I really like Elise. Unfortunately, my video on it has been copyright strike, and someday we'll re-edit. Someday.
Yes.
It's just this really sweet, classic film that feels weirdly European, but is still very staunchly Filipino. If Elise is showing anywhere, go see it. Vic Tan asks, a newcomer for Darna or not? Sure, who cares? Get anybody. It almost doesn't matter who Darna is gonna be because what matters is it's Darna. Do Darna right. Do a newcomer, do an unknown, do somebody really famous, do Bea Alonzo, for all I care. It's just, at this point, they should just do it. It's been so long. I've actually had weird access to the development of Darna because I was embedded in a couple of productions where people who were involved with the production were around. I've been following the creation of this movie so long that I actually do not care anymore who they cast. It really is just like, I wish this movie could get made because I feel the pain of all the people involved at this point. Just get it made. Any plans for a film criticism or appreciation class? Ask Lakong Pake on Twitter. Sure, I mean, maybe. I used to do it. I did a whole workshop at Mogwai before. I do talk sometimes with places, but like, I'm not sure it's something I'm going to set up myself. If somebody asks me to do it, I'll do it. Thanks for joining us. If you're looking for more films to watch, go see the French Film Festival, which is happening right now in some select Ayala cinemas. If you're looking for a personal recommendation, go see the last Agnes Varda film, which they're screening. That's amazing. Like and subscribe, leave a comment, leave a question for our Q&A portion. Do all the internet things. And until next time, goodbye internet. Happy Independence Day. In exorcism movies, the possessed is always some like normal person. It would be interesting, especially now, if the possessed was a presidential candidate, for example. Why is the devil possessing nobodies and then calling attention to itself just so it can get exorcised? Wouldn't the true devil trying to get into power, trying to affect people's minds on a larger scale?
Trying to possess someone important.
Yeah.